Welcome back, guys. Sorry it's been so long. I don't know if it's been a week or 2 weeks. I don't
think
know.
it's been a week, but we haven't
Yeah.
recorded in 2 weeks.
Yeah. I don't even know. It's felt like a long time, but I think you're right. Yeah, you have to be right because the thing happened on the same day, and that was, a week and a half.
And we didn't film because Theo was sick last week.
Yeah, okay.
I swear that boy.
Oh my gosh.
It's tricky. It's tricky being a parent because then when they're sick, you're not sick, but you might get sick and you have to be careful and take care of them. And they can't go to daycare or school, so you can't work. So
That's so sad.
It sucks.
Gosh, dude.
It's okay, though.
Yeah. Well, this episode is gonna be about beliefs. So like limiting beliefs, common limiting beliefs, how mental blocks and beliefs and programs and stuff like that even occur, and then how to kind of overcome that, as well as like what are beliefs that we have or had, either one, based off our reality and how we were raised.
And it's so situational too, and like where you live and what area and all of that deep dive time.
So I'm just curious to start it off, like, what's like a belief that formed, and you may not be dealing with this, but I feel like I still notice it come up every once in a while, because I feel like there's some that like still are there that you're working through that logically, are not what you believe, but it like is still ingrained, that it comes up unconsciously.
Yeah.
So what are like some beliefs that logically, like with your conscious mind, you're able to decipher, like, no, I don't believe in that, like, but you notice it still come up and try to run your life?
Couple things. One is that I can't make it as an entrepreneur. Like that's something that I was never around someone. I guess first off, I was never around anyone that did that successfully growing up. I was in a different environment where it was all like you clock in, you clock out kind of jobs. It was more, I was surrounded by the trades, and or you were in a school, or you were in a hospital or a factory. And that was like the options for the workforce where I lived. So I didn't even see a lot of salespeople. And when I was getting older, I was like, a salesman, like, what did they do? And then I started to hear, I'm like, oh, I could sell stuff, And I didn't really follow it right away. I fell into it. But I don't know. I guess growing up in a small town that was surrounded by farmland and factories and a very small mindset came with that is where that first started for me. Was like, hey, like you got to go to college to get a good job, or you're going to end up in the factory, or you're going to end up being a stay-at-home mom or cleaning houses, like things like a lot of people are very happy doing, and I'm not like discounting any of that by any means. I don't want to be offensive, but for me it was like, oh, I would love to like make my own schedule, and I would love to do what I want and travel and do all these things, and obviously make a lot of money so I could do a lot of cool things with it. And I didn't really know where to go to do that, and it took me a long time to figure it out. I mean, I'm 33 now, and I'm finally figuring it out. So it took a long time to get past that. And mainly I think it was because the education wasn't there and the examples weren't there, that I had no one to like look up to that was in that role that I wanted. And it felt like it didn't exist. I was like, oh yeah, those people were just born into money. Like people I would see on TV, and then the internet came out and I was like, oh, like that girl, like she's just rich because she's a model. So then I chased that dream. I did that for a little bit, but it wasn't like apparent to me what I needed to do to get to where I wanted to be. So that made it hard to believe that I could do it.
Yeah. Man, have ever, like, do you know who Shelby Sapp is? She's like I would say she's the like saleswoman, like, and she lives in Miami. She like literally like the most she's made in a month's $1 million, like in a month, from her like sales academy and stuff, and she only coaches women. But I feel like you'd like her. She's a bad bitch.
Yeah, please. Yeah, send her my way, please. Yeah. Send me her Instagram because I will.
Her. Like seriously, like I think you'd like her content. But also like she teaches like high ticket sales, and how like and she only coaches women. She will not coach men. Yeah. And like she loves, her passion is just like single moms, like being able to go through her program, and like then she sets them up with coaches that have high ticket programs, and then she loves just helping them being able to travel and like be with their kid during the day, and like all they have to do is hop on a couple phone calls, and obviously it's not that easy, but hop on a couple of phone calls with already really hot leads because they're going into a high ticket program, and the coach has already done the work like of like the content and stuff. You're just selling for them, and like it's already really hot leads. So not easy. I don't want to make it seem like it's easy, but yeah, that's like her passion is like
helping women get there.
Yeah.
That's my passion too.
Mm-hmm.
It's becoming a thing.
Yeah, you should definitely follow her. But yeah, wow. I agree with that 100%.
Yeah, it's hard to think like that lifestyle is attainable when you don't see it.
Mm-hmm.
Or you don't grow up around it.
Cause like, and that's why it's so important to like why every morning, which I've fallen out of it lately. I do all my other habits. It's like literally not even like a I don't want to do it thing. I literally forget to. But yesterday actually, sometimes I'll just randomly remember, and I'm like, oh, I need to do that. Like I need to listen to my vision. Yeah, it's not something I do on purpose. And like I remember it throughout the day, but it's not as powerful to do it throughout the day because you want to do it right when you wake up because you're in that alpha state of mind, like where you're most receptive. And so when I remember it in the middle of the day, it's like pointless because it's like my brain's not receptive to it. But anyways, that's why it's so important, and why it's important to have vision boards and like all that stuff, to have like your environment set up with the images you want to see. That's why it's so important to make sure you're watching content that, you know, helps you believe in that lifestyle, because the images you constantly see are the things that are impressed in your subconscious mind. And if you're constantly around people that are negative or complaining or like clocking in and out like you don't want, or like drinking and partying every weekend, and just like that lifestyle, like when you're around that all the time and you're not really consciously aware of it, then yeah, you're just gonna get the images that are impressed in your subconscious mind.
Yeah, and people would think I was crazy when I started talking about things in high school like this. I'm like, oh, like so-and-so on a yacht and da-da-da. That'll be me someday. And like, that's awesome. And they're like, yeah, right. Like you're, you know, in this town, whatever. I'm like, yeah, right. Like, why not? Like, I don't know. So I had the belief like deep down in there, and it kept getting shot down left and right. Until I think I kind of like escaped. I got away from it. Like changing your environment is huge. I changed it multiple times and moved away, traveled, solo traveled, like we've talked about in other episodes, and got a job that allowed me to travel and be paid to do it. And I was like, this is heaven. Like just having that freedom, and it just like taught me who I really was and like what I wanted. And I don't know. It was really cool because I got to see like who I am when I'm not surrounded by the same people that I grew up with, and you change so fast when you start doing those things. And then I was around people that were successful in business, and it was in the running industry when I first got that first real job where I traveled, and I got to meet the store owners of all the running stores across the Midwest and talk to them and hear their stories and like how they started their business. And I was just like forced into this, like, I don't know, this whole like network of people that they all had stories where they started out in a small town, had no money. They like bet on themselves, put all their money into their dream, and they made it and were running businesses. So thankfully I found that job and ended up surrounded with a completely different type of person. Like everywhere I looked was people doing big things, and it just got bigger and better from there. And I was more like, I think since then I was drawn to business owners, and I want to know, like, what do you do? How did you get there? And I started asking all those questions. Thankfully, I'm curious by nature, so that helped a lot too. But yeah, that was the biggest, I think, limiting belief growing up for me, was not thinking I could be an entrepreneur and be successful.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, but here we are.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like, do you feel like it's a like constant fight, or do you feel like you've overcome that belief?
It still comes up a lot, actually, because the industry is so up and down. I'm in real estate, so it's like, it's not like I invented something and it hit it big and now I'm just reaping the rewards. It's a constant work, like you constantly have to work at it. It doesn't ever get easier. It just gets more systemized, and you get quicker at things and better and more efficient. So I think, yeah, it comes up a lot, especially lately. There's been a weird lull in my business. Like I started off the year super strong, blew it out of the water like in February and March, and then I like started closing all the things I had pending and then I was working on, not having time to prospect much for the next 6 months and like get things going for that, and I was just like focused on getting things done efficiently that were in front of me. Being one person, I couldn't do all of the things, so I chose to focus on the things in front of me. And now it's like, okay, now I need to make more things come in front of me. So yeah, right now I am experiencing it a little bit where it's like, man, am I really cut out for this? Because it's a roller coaster, but I know I am. But it still creeps up because it's so like ingrained in my body from where I grew up, where I mean, for how many years? 25 years, I believed it. And then I finally started to try new things and explore more options and start side hustles and just like all the things. There were signs, yeah. But it does creep up. It is a constant, like, you need to constantly remind yourself as someone who wants to be an entrepreneur, who wants to do independent work and not have someone pay them consistently. You have to keep reminding yourself why you're doing it and that you can do it. It's a constant struggle for me.
Yeah.
It sucks. No, but it's so
yeah,
great.
no, I feel you, seriously. Like,
Yeah.
yeah. I would say, like, luckily, obviously, I'm 20, and I started to realize, like, the world of, like, outside of just my small town, like, when I was, like, 16.
Wow.
So, luckily, like, it's not as ingrained, but trust me, it's still there, and it comes up a lot, like, and just reminding myself it takes time, and also like being honest, like, okay, well, have you done enough to even reap the rewards? Like, and like that's just being honest. It's not like that part I don't even think is a limiting belief. Like there is more I could have done. So it's like but yeah, it's just like definitely something that comes up though, like, okay, is this actually even gonna work out? Like, am I crazy? Like,
yeah, you have to be crazy.
Yeah, I know. But it's definitely like it's not one as prevalent for me, but it definitely comes up a lot. And I think the biggest thing though that like I need to get over is like in regards to that is like, which is what I dealt with last year, and I recognize, and I again started off this year like really strong, but now that it's summer, which we talked about last episode, it's hard because it's like I know what I need to do. It's just like not doing it because it's like enjoying the weather, enjoying being with friends and all that stuff and family, which don't get me wrong, it's been great. And honestly, I can't tell you if it's like a better payoff or like if I'm doing the right thing. I honestly can't say. But what I can say is like I feel like I've been more in the present moment because of it. And I've been like when I am with my family and friends, like on the weekends, like in the pond, like I got absolutely fried, but all that stuff, like I'm there all day long, not on my phone and just present with the people around me. So honestly, like I can't tell you if like I should be working on my business in that moment. Like I'm not going to sit here and say like I should or should not. Like I don't know, but it's just like a matter of like the present moment in that moment. Like I don't regret that at all. I think the thing for me really is like when I'm home alone during the week after work, that's the hardest thing for me is like fighting the urge to scroll on my phone or when things are going on in my life, trying to fill that void so you don't want to think about it. So then it's like, let me just scroll. And then it's like recognizing that and being like, no, there's no reason to do that right now. And knowing that like there's worksheets I need to make and, I could do more, but yeah, I don't know. It's just like a constant fight. But I feel like I'm really good at not getting down on myself though and like sitting in shame because that's what a lot of people do rather than just like the next day making it better than yesterday. So I feel like thankfully I'm really good at that, but it is something that like if I could get that down, I feel like I'd be like very in flow. Yeah. That was a bunch of just words. Like I don't even know what I just said, but that's just what's going on.
Yeah. I mean, it's so relatable too for a lot of people, I'm sure.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard in the summer.
It is, dude. Like
It's
Yeah,
hard to stay
and
focused.
again, like I don't regret the time that I've spent on the weekends, like, you know, spending time with family with no phone and just being absolutely present, and it's a holiday weekend, so it's probably going to
Yeah.
happen again, but again, I don't feel like I can't tell you. Like I don't think that's a regret in my opinion. I feel like that's still very valuable time. It's just for me, like how could I spend my time better during the week so that it's a better trade-off on the weekend?
That's what I struggle with because the days I have
Yeah.
Theo with me, I want to spend time with him and not work. And then it comes to the weekend, and I'm like, oh, shoot, I didn't do all my work I wanted to get done this week. So now it's like trickling into my weekends. And then I'm doing open houses, of course. But I need to work on that so where I'm more efficient during the week and I have more of a structure so I get the things that I feel guilty not doing at the end of the week on Friday. Like, oh, shoot, I wanted to do this, and this. And then I feel like I can't enjoy the weekend and I can't relax and I have to work half of Saturday and then maybe go to dinner or whatever, go to the lake on Sunday. But I mean, I think I've been up to the lake once for a day this
Yeah.
year. And it's like, dude, what? Like Ryan, like he wants to go all the, I'm like, I gotta work, I gotta do this, I gotta do
Yeah.
that. And it's like, I want to feel more, I guess I want to feel less guilty, like taking time off and unplugging.
Yeah.
But it's hard because I know I will kick myself later because I'm so
Yeah.
hard on myself. Like, oh, I should have done this. There's so many things my database needs organized again. It happens every month. It needs reorganized. I swear. It's just I don't keep up enough throughout the week because I'm networking and going to events now, and the summer is full of networking events that I want to go to all of them because I love that. It's the best part of my job. But lately I've had to say no. I went to one today, yes, but last week I said no to one. I didn't go to the golf outing.
Yeah.
I wasn't on a golf team, but I was gonna go and like socialize and like be there to like see my friends that are sponsors to things that I do, and I didn't. I kept working, and Theo was sick too, but like I was working that day. So, yeah, that's a struggle. And do you ever feel guilty like that? Like where do you also feel guilty where if you don't like if you take time off and you hang out with friends and family, but you don't get anything done for your business, do you feel guilty about that?
I would say from the way I plan, I don't feel guilty. The only time I feel guilty is when I do time block my calendar and I bypass it because I succumb to the feeling I'm feeling in the moment. That's when I feel guilty because it's like I knew what I needed to do is all right here and I just chose not to do it. That's the biggest thing for me because it wasn't that I didn't have the time. It wasn't because I was doing something else that was beneficial. It was because I succumbed to the comfort and chose that instead. And that's what really gets me. But for example, like this past weekend, Saturday, like me and Sophie planned to hang out with our friends and I knew that was happening. So I, time blocked my calendar. I started at 8 o'clock in the morning and I had my last thing at 3 o'clock. I had my client session, which that's going so great, by the way. Like, so one of the things I gave her to do was time block and add in rest periods because she said that when she rests, she feels like she should be doing something else. And when you do that, that's not actually rest because your body doesn't recharge because it's thinking of all the things you should do. And then you go back into performance mode trying to do. And you didn't even take actual real time to recharge. So then that's why you feel burnt out all the time and why you feel low energy and all that stuff. So adding in rest. So research actually says, which is why people do like deep work sessions for 90 minutes because that's literally what the research says everywhere. Like, and it's not just one book that says this. Like, it's like across the board. But do 90-minute deep work sessions. And then so like every 90 minutes during the day, take like a 15 to 30-minute break.
Oh, wow.
Intentionally. And then it's there. And so it's so funny. I told her to do that because I've been doing it and I knew that it would help her. She came back to me a week later and she's like, oh my gosh, that helped me so much. Like I feel recharged. I feel rested. And then I asked her, I said, did you get more done? And she was like, yes, I actually did. And I said, yes, because I did the same thing where it was like, it's so funny. I have the same amount of time in my day. I go to work the same amount of time. And it's crazy though that when you time block your calendar, you get more stuff done and in less time.
Yeah.
Because it's there, like it's already planned out and it's there for you to do. All you have to do is show up and do it. Like, and so she was like, yeah, like I was done by 7 o'clock and usually I don't get done till 9 or 10. And it's like, I'm just mind blown at like how much time I have to relax now and just chill. And I'm like, yeah, it's crazy, isn't it? Because I've done this, like I'm doing the same thing. So, yeah, that's been like a big breakthrough for me. And it's been really helpful. Yeah, I would say the only time I do feel guilty is during that moment of like I chose comfort and now I wasted so much time that now my time block is all messed up. Which that doesn't happen a lot because the whole reason that I time block is because it really does keep me on point. But yeah, those days that when it's like I'm going through something personally, it's like to fill that. That's my way I've noticed, like unconsciously, to fill a void, which most people my age, that's how it is. And that's just how it is. I mean, grateful it's not like alcohol or vape or anything like that, but it is, yeah, it's like tough.
I'll do stuff where it's like, I think it's an ADHD thing, but if I know I need to like go sit down at the table and do XYZ for my business or whatever, but then I'm at home and I see something else like dishes. Literally, I'm like, oh, I'll do the dishes. And then I'm like, oh, I need to reorganize this drawer. And then I'm like, oh, I need to da-da-da. Oh, I'm cleaning this closet out now. And then I ended up painting and redoing. Well, I needed to paint and redo my closets anyways, but I ended up putting up shelving and all that and making it look pretty. But I get that where it's like, I'm procrastinating. I'm doing this on purpose and I don't realize it. Like, my brain's like, you don't really want to make those calls and like sit down and sit still and focus on your business, do you? You want to go do busy work. I'm like,
yeah.
Do I really though?
And
like,
I'd say too, when you are time blocking, like I said in the chat GPT episode, I put it on there so I don't have to think about it. Like I have it, I just tell it what I need to do. And if there's a way that you could like, and like sometimes it won't give you realistic timing. Like I take long showers and it will give me like 10 minutes to shower and get ready or 15 minutes. And I'm like, dude, that's not enough time for me. So you just give it feedback and like make it realistic. Same thing with like budgeting and stuff. Like I was noticing, I love seeing a lot of money in my bank account, like probably like most people. So it's like
me too.
When I budget at the beginning of the month and I'm like, oh, let me just put $100 in this category, when it's like, that's not realistic. So like this month, because I was always going over it, but I realized it's because I was profiting like over 1,000 every month. Wow. Because I was saving really well. But like I was always going over my budget, so I felt like I was not. I was like, what is going on? Like, why do I keep going over my budget? But I was just being not realistic about it. So I actually gave ChatGPT what I spent on each category, and I said like if it was adjustable or not, because obviously if it's bills and stuff, it's gonna have to be what it is. But if it's like food, out, groceries, like stuff like that, I was like, these are adjustable. So like I don't have to spend this much, but like be realistic. So
I love eating out.
We'll see how that goes this month. Like if I stick within it now, because like, yeah, it was so funny. I had cash flow because I like, was budgeting that way. But I was like going over it the whole time, and I was like, before I looked at my profit and loss, I always was like, this is gonna be a loss from the month, because I felt like I spent so much money because I was like not being realistic with my budget. So it's like just, I don't know. I don't even know how we got started talking about that, but anyways.
Guilt.
Yeah.
Talking about guilt, feeling guilty and like not getting things done you want. And yeah. Man, what is another belief that you have had besides the limiting belief, or related to that in the past or presently, that you overcame or you work to fight every day like it's a demon?
Yeah. Real quick before I go to that, going back to the research that I just want to tell everybody, because like I've been really like, hopefully it helps you too, because just rest is so important. Because again, why would you expect your phone to work at 1%? You wouldn't. So same thing with you, like you have to recharge to work at the best like that you can. Because why would you even expect yourself to perform well if you literally like have so much going on, you're never taking time to reset, recharge? Like that just makes no sense. But anyways, so the 90-minute thing every day, and then one day every 7 days. So once a week, taking a full day to rest with no to-do list, no work,
What?
nothing.
Can't do it.
Well,
I'm just kidding.
yeah, but so for
I don't
me,
do it.
I do for me, I do my best to do that on Sundays, where it's like
Mm.
no work and all that stuff. So, and yeah, I think like once you can actually commit to that, you'll definitely see a change.
I've been taking Mondays as my Sunday
Yeah.
because I work weekends.
Yeah.
And weekends are probably more busy for me than they are during the week. So I've been taking Mondays and keeping Theo home and working from home, but like answering emails, keeping up on deals for like an hour. And then we do something lately. We've been going to like the zoo or splash pad with friends or something. And he loves it. And it's kind of like my Saturday or my Sunday because I don't always get those. There's always something going on for work.
Yeah.
So I've been taking Mondays as a
Nice.
slow day. But I'm still doing something.
Nothing.
Can't do
Nothing.
it, dude. I'll have to try it.
But okay, you want to hear the third one? This is the third and last one of the research. Every 7 years, take a whole year off.
Oh yeah, okay. I'm all for that. So I owe myself 10 years off. No, how old am I? How many? So what's 33 divided by 7?
It wouldn't be even, but it would be.
It would not.
Around.
Like 4 years or so I owe myself.
It would be like 4. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like 4.5.
I owe myself 4 years off, okay? You guys hear that when I disappear?
Yeah, so that's what the research says, but obviously we're in such a doing culture, even though we're called human beings. We're not human doings, but you know, here we are.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what it says, to be at like the peak performance of like taking enough rest to be at peak performance, basically.
Can you do it in like month increments, like a month every year?
Maybe.
Well,
I don't know.
2 months a year.
That's just what the research said. I don't really know, honestly, but
so like taking like the month of Christmas, like December and January off or something.
Yeah, I don't know. I'll have to see. I'll have to look into that. I don't know though. But anyways, to answer your question, I think a big one for me, honestly, like, dude, I get so, it's really like has to do with my deepest rooting belief. So we all have a deepest rooting belief, like, which for a lot of people it's I'm not good enough. But other ones are like I'm not lovable, I'm not safe, I'm not worthy. What are some other ones? Yeah, those are like the deepest rooted limiting beliefs. So like those are like, you have beliefs and programs that like are above that, but they're all like lead back to that deep rooted one. But anyways, I'd say just an ongoing one for me, like fuels that I'm not good enough belief, but just like has to do with like friendships and stuff. Like I just like feel like I don't fit in, or I'm not good enough, or like that's another one, is I don't belong, is another like deep rooted one. But
that's
yeah, it's
hard.
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, but it always pops up.
It's a good thing you're different though, because what is a majority of your old classmates doing right now?
Oh yeah, for sure. Like, yeah, it's definitely nice to think of, but yeah, it's just even like meeting new people. Like I feel like I can't even be my authentic self because I don't know what they'll say. So it's like, I don't know, it's just a constant thing for me. Like, and I like, again, like I don't want this to seem like it's like something that always happens, because like I do love myself and I have like a lot of like self-awareness and I've done a lot of work. So thankfully, like it's not like really bad, but I'd say that's probably the one that comes up for me the most.
Yeah. It's tough. It honestly, I think age has a lot to do with loving yourself more and more, because you get more comfortable with yourself over time.
Yeah.
And you realize like the people that don't accept you for you don't belong in your life. Like screw them. So I think too, with time, it will feel easier to do that, because same thing here. Like I was like the oddball. Like I didn't fit into like a certain, like I wasn't completely a jock. I wasn't, like I didn't fit into a group. I was like bouncing around. I had friends in all the groups, which makes me a good networker now, I see. But at the time, it was like, where do I belong? So it was a struggle for me too growing up. I was like, well, I'm not like a country girl, but I'm not like too city. And I'm like, I don't know where I belong, and I just don't know. I know that I don't want to be here. So
Yeah.
it
And
was
that's why
hard.
when in high school, when I was in that online community, because now it's not a thing anymore because, like, he's on doing bigger and better things. So it's not a thing anymore. I still talk to one girl in there, but, like, obviously that community factor is not there. And so in high school, after I got kicked out of the friend group, all that stuff, like, that other piece of, like, belonging was there, and now it's not. And it sucks, too. Like, that's online, but, like, it still was, like, that I felt that, and now I, like, don't. Like, I don't know. It's just like I don't even know because again, like either people are like so much older than me, or it's like I feel like where it really comes from and stems from is like, I mean, when I was a little kid, like this is all in my story, but like
Mhm.
super tomboyish. Like
Mhm.
I played with cars, Nerf guns, Legos. Like I never had like any like I didn't have Barbies. I didn't have anything like that. Like that wasn't me.
Mhm.
Like, and so even from a little kid, like that's always been there. And like I remember like my neighbor's dad would say stuff about it, and so it's just
Ugh.
like deeply ingrained in my mind. And then obviously the high school thing, and then like people saying stuff in middle school, like it's just been a constant thing. And then now like obviously I'm not in a relationship that a lot of people love, so it's like I don't, when I'm meeting new people, like I have to like I don't have to, but I feel like I have to refrain from even saying that before I get to know you,
Ugh.
because I'm like, and it's just this constant like I have to hold back pieces of myself because I don't know how people will react, which again logically, which is the whole reason it's a limiting belief, like logically I know not to feel that way and like not to care what other people think, but it's
Mhm.
so hard. It is so hard for me.
Yeah, I think too it happens every time you make a change. So every time you move to a new city or town or a new job, like you have to figure out where you belong in that new space. So I felt it a lot when I moved into like the real estate role of like, okay, now I'm a realtor and there's like really bougie realtors who are like perfect and like almost plastic and just like beautiful, and then there's like homegirl realtors that are normal and then there's like this group, like a clique that goes to the same church, then there's a clique that goes to the same workout place, and then there's a clique that goes to the same mom things and like their kids go to school together, and there's people who have been doing real estate way longer than me that don't want to bother explaining things to me, and like not saying like these people are like harsh or rude or anything, but like there's generally just so many different types of bubbles of people, and I was working for one that I didn't end up wanting to be in his bubble at all. So I came in like not knowing where to go and scared to choose like which friend group or whatever because of what happened with that employer, and like being like lied to, and then like trying to figure out like who can I even trust, and like who do I want to work with, what brokerage do you choose, like there's so many things. And I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna go with something, shoot and go for it and see what happens. And then I've changed a couple times, and now I finally like feel like I belong. And like honestly, I will say though, like I didn't go to any group, I ended up just like being and just doing my thing, and people have gravitated towards me, and I've been like, yes, I want to hang out with you. Yes, I want to keep you in my life. And then it's kind of like it took 3.5 years now, 3 years, but it's kind of like slowly turned into my own little. Now I have, for the first time like ever, I have a group of women I can hang out with. Like, hey, what are you guys doing this weekend? You want to go to a winery? You want to do this, or like lunch on Friday? I actually have like a solid group of like 5 to 10 women I can call on or text, and like I've never had that. I've had like 2 or 3 in my life. And so it's like so weird. And it's like I didn't belong in a group. I made a group. It happens. Like it evolves to you.
Yeah, that's why I never complain about it because I know it's something that I can control. Because like I know, I mean, we both know this person, but anyways, I know somebody that like was complaining about that, like, oh, nobody, like, I have no friends, like nobody wants to hang out with me, all that stuff. And I offered that piece of advice, like, okay, but how much are you asking people to hang out? How much are you putting
Mhm.
yourself out there? And you're choosing to isolate and then create stories of like, oh, they didn't invite me because of this, this, and this. And it's like, or maybe you just need to put yourself out there more or ask others to hang out. And I'm like, okay with like, I'm not like starving for this, like, I don't know. I just don't even know people like that are even people I'd like want to reach out to hang out with, and that's why I always like just find something better to do. Either hang out with Sophie, who's like my best friend,
Which is great.
yeah, or do business stuff, or hang out with my family. So it's like, yeah. But I do wish like, obviously I have my best friend and stuff, and I have like my cousin who I haven't hung out in forever. But it's like, I don't know. It's so hard for me to like ask people to hang out. Like it's just something I'm not good at.
Mhm. It'll come to a time, I think. And honestly, being busy and like doing your own thing, you'll find people, you'll stumble upon them. Like
Yeah.
it'll just happen, and you're like, oh, like you also do this, I do this too. Like let's do it together sometime. And like working out, going to a yoga class, or like that's one of my go-to old moves of like asking a friend out was like, hey, do you want to go to yoga together, or do you want to get coffee? Which is so less pressure. Like you can go to a coffee shop, you can be like, I know this really cool place, or you can say, where do you know, because I don't know anything here yet, and like they'll show you a new place to go. And coffee is just like it's a good first date too for dating. It's like super low key. You're not tied to them for 3 hours if it gets awkward or you just want to leave. And you can just talk about whatever. Like I think it's a safe zone if you want to just like, hey, let's get coffee and talk business. And then you can end up becoming friends. That's what's happened for me a lot. Like title reps, lenders, they want to take you out to coffee as a realtor, and I befriended them through those like random coffee dates where they're like, here's about my business, and then we just end up talking about life instead most of the time. And it's like, that's how you know there's a connection there besides just work.
Yeah. Yeah, and I'd say like that's again another thing. Like, yeah, like I could go do yoga, go do these fun things, but it's like I just want to do it with Sophie. I mean, why not? She's my best friend. But it's like I know like I need other people.
Yeah, like when she's at work. So like I do all this when Ryan's at work.
Yeah.
Like during the day, which is my freedom I have because of my job. But like when she's working nights or like in school or whatever, it's like you can, hey, while she's busy, like what's my backup person? And then that could be your friend, literally.
Yeah.
Because your significant other
and
obviously
like,
is up there.
I know. I was thinking about the other day actually. Like my best friend, I'm not kidding, lives 2 minutes from me.
Oh, perfect.
And I don't take advantage of that while she's home from school. I'm like, we've hung out. She's come over one night and we just talked forever. And then there was another night we went to like a bonfire. But that's it. And I'm like, you're about to go back to school. Why have I not taken advantage of that?
You better text her after this
episode.
I know.
I know. I'm like, because like when I wasn't going to Sophie's like last week, I was like, dude, Kirsten literally lives like 2 minutes from me. Why do I not ask her to do something? But I think whatever day I was gonna ask her, I think she wasn't home or something. But I don't know. But it's like I don't know. It's just so hard for me to prioritize it. I don't know why though.
Your age is hard too though, because a lot of people your age are in college, and it just like it takes all your friends and just splays them out, and they just like disappear, and you gotta like it's a weird age, the early 20s.
Yeah, and it's like my cousin who's like one of my like she'll be the maid of honor in my wedding, like I already said that, and then my best friend Kirsten, like obviously my best friend, but anyways, like I know those people are there, but like I just want to hang out with my significant other, and I know that's how they are too.
Oh, so then it works.
But it's like
double dates though, or like triple dates where you all get together could be a good way to have some sort of community.
No.
Never mind.
No.
You do you.
No. But I don't know. It's just it's weird.
It is so strange.
It's also weird too because like with my cousin, like the way we would bond is literally from little kids up until I graduated was like we just do degenerate shit. Like we just drive like just like we just do dumb stuff but it was so fun to us, and like we'd make each other laugh and stuff, but like now we're both mature and it's like, what do we do now? Like we can't just go like throw cheese slices at cars and stuff, and like that's not even something. We had so much fun. Don't even judge right now. We had so much fun, bro. Like yeah, so much fun. We have so many inside jokes. Like I love her to death. We have so much fun. But it's like, now what do we do as adults? Like I don't even know what to do. Like I don't know. It's just weird. Like it's a weird dynamic.
Once your friends start getting married and having kids too, it changes again. It like keeps happening. And so you just got to embrace the change and like shift with
Yeah.
it. Like I have friends who don't have children who are like, bring Theo, I love him. And that's how I know they're my people still, even though they don't have their own kids. That's cool. And then I have friends with kids and I'm like, okay, go play. Like
Yeah.
it's so much easier when you can just like, they're comfortable with him or they bring a child to entertain him. So it's like, I don't know. So that changes too. And some people get married and have kids and they just don't want to do anything but be with their family. That happens too. I have a friend like that. Like I don't see her ever. Um, and it is what it is. I mean, they just slowly fall out of your life like over time. It's fine.
Yeah, I think they've all fallen out, and that's why I'm like here, which is fine. Like again, like I don't even know. It's just like I'm looking for like a new community or like new just group of people. Even if like none of them become best friends or anything, I'm not even searching for that really.
Right.
Just something that's there.
Just people to do stuff with.
Yeah.
Like, hey, let's go to
Every
this,
once
whatever.
in a while. Like it doesn't even need to be frequent, but
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know. It's just I think I talked about it last episode too. That's just been like something on my mind.
Yeah. It'll come. I mean, like I said, I didn't have hardly anybody for a year or two here.
Mm.
And it was like I only hung out with my work crowd.
Yeah.
If you remember those days, we had parties.
Yeah.
We had a couple parties.
I know. I was
It was
like,
fun. It was a good time.
I tell like new people about that, and they're always like, "Is that a thing?" And I was like, "No, I just got lucky."
What?
Like birthday parties like that. Like,
Oh, that was so fun.
I was like, "No, that's not a thing." Like,
I just
got
love
lucky
planning parties.
with Tristen.
I love planning parties for you.
And you were like a friend outside of work, so I was like, "Nah, I just got lucky." But
It was a really good one.
yeah, that was great.
Yeah, we need to do karaoke again.
I know. And that's another thing too that's so hard, I feel like, is like I've never had a friend group just the one in high school. Other than that, I've never had a friend group. And so it's hard because like all I want to do is when I do have time to hang out with people, I just want all my friends in one place and hang out, but like none of them are friends. Like, I don't know, it's just weird. Like I don't even know.
I used to do that. I would have parties in college and I would invite like the most random people. And sometimes it would clash a little bit, and I'm like, oh, that might not have been a good idea because this person's super strong this way, and this person really believes in this, and they're like talking right now. But it always worked out. I would just like, let's play a game, guys. Let's do this, and I would just invite. So even in college, I was doing that.
Because even like, I'm just thinking about, okay, well, who's gonna like stand with me at my wedding? Like, who's gonna be my bridesmaids and stuff? And then I'm like thinking about it. I'm like, this is like the most random group of people put together. Because, like,
cool.
You'll be up there, like, for sure.
No shit?
Yeah, like, seriously.
Aww.
Trust me, I already, like,
you
have
don't
it.
have to, but that's awesome.
No, Tristan, what? Like,
Bachelorette
you're going to be,
is
yes,
gonna be lit.
You're literally going to be there. But anyways, like, it's just, like,
so
random because I don't have, like, whereas, like, Sophie's bridesmaids, unless she invites, what am I even talking about? Unless she like makes the friend she's in with school right now, unless she makes them part of it,
or her new job,
then it would be random. But like other than that, the people that she has in her mind right now, it's all one friend group, and I'm like, which is who we hung out last weekend with. Like that's like the only friend group, but it's more like her. I mean, they're my friends too, but like
by default you're there.
Yeah,
but like. That's okay, because you guys are together, so, like, you can adapt, and, like, they adopt you, basically.
Which is, well, it's, like, I knew them before we started dating. That's how we even met, was, like, those mutual friends, but she was closer with them than I was.
That's okay.
So it's, like, more her friends.
Yeah. I had friends, so when I was married, so we both, my ex-husband and I, went to the same high school, and he hung out with a different crowd than I did, but they knew each other. It was so small over there. So, like, once we started to have parties in our married home, he would invite his friends and I would invite mine and, like, my new ones as well. And they were like, oh, I know you from this, that, and the other. And it kind of became a thing. And then his friends they slowly started to get married and, like, find their girlfriends and wives. And I would befriend them. So I have a lot of friends, which I sadly lost because they're married to my ex's friends, which sucks. But they like adapted me in. So like a lot of his friends brought women into my life that I befriended and ended up hanging out with one-on-one from that. It like branches out, and we had a blast. Like I was in the one's wedding and I still like miss hanging out with her and stuff, but we're over an hour apart now. But like we'll still message and stuff here and there, but it's like, oh man, that's a whole nother lifetime ago. But I met a lot of beautiful people through him as well, that I don't get to see anymore. But it does branch into that. Like, you're with that significant other, you get immediately like you're just in the group that they're in, and then they're in your group too if you have one, and it just kind of blends.
Yeah. And with that same belief, like it also goes into business because like I'm like, okay, now I just hit 3,000 followers on Instagram. Like
Woo!
a lot of my content like gets a lot of views and it's from parents. And I'm like, can I even, I mean, I do post my relationship, but it's so like it scares me every time I do because I'm like, what if they like, what do they think? And it's like, again, logically, I know then that's not the right people to work with if
Yeah.
they don't love you for who you are, but it's so hard not to think about. Like, I'm just being straight up, like, again, logically, like, no, like, you know, whatever. Like, they can think whatever they want. They're not the right people to work with you, anyways. But it's like,
True.
sucks that I even have to think about that.
I know. It's the world we're in, unfortunately.
Yeah.
There's so many people stuck in that old mindset.
Yeah.
That's hard. That's really hard because you want to be your true self and you want to attract people by being your true self.
Yeah, like I mean, even like yesterday when I do my like monthly photo dumps, I've been throwing a picture of like Sophie in there every time.
I
I'm
love
just
'em.
like, just gotta like get used to it because it's like I know that I don't need to post her, but I want to post her. It's just like it's a fear every time. Like it's like why is that even like why do I even have to think about that? Like I wish I didn't have to.
Yeah, and someone told me at once, I was just thinking of this, to not post, as a realtor, not post that I had a boyfriend. Like, it was like a year ago or something.
What?
At the time, it was before, and it was over a year ago. It was before Ryan and I were dating. And I was like, what do you mean? Like, and they're like, oh, yeah, you'll get more leads. I'm like, that has nothing to do with it. Like, I know so many married realtors who are killing it. And I can't remember who it was. And I was like, no, I'm not going to, like, brag about whoever I'm with if I am.
Yeah.
I don't, though. I don't brag a lot. I don't post him enough, probably. Sorry. And he doesn't post. He didn't post me for a while either. And I was like, what gives? And he's like, last time I posted was like 8 months ago. I'm like, oh, yeah, that's why. That makes sense. But
yeah,
I don't know. Now I just, whenever I have a good picture, I put it up there. I don't really care, think about it anymore. But I was like, what do you mean? Like, don't post that I'm in a relationship, because that's a good thing.
Yeah. It's
Mm-hmm.
It sucks, but I do it anyways. It's definitely like something that always crosses my mind, and I've even experienced that happening. I mean, like when I was like first getting into coaching, like one of my first discovery calls, like she was super excited, was gonna work with me, and then came back a few days later and was like, saw your Instagram, saw the relationship you're in, and I can't work with you.
So maybe being up front, just weed out the losers right away. And yeah,
it's just like
that's stupid.
Yeah,
it's like, you're a great person and coach, but
I'm like, what's that have to do with I don't know. I don't know. Like I don't make it my personality. I don't like it's not. I know that there's more to me than that. So it's like, where is that? That's not even going to be talked about during coaching. Where does that even come in to where you say no? But anyways, I don't know. So not only is that a fear, but also I've experienced it and it hurts so much that it's like every time it's like, man, will that happen again?
That's not even like, in my brain, I'm thinking she's in a great relationship. Why is that worse than, say, some single chick is like a sloozy? I don't want to say like a bad, like a slut. How is that not worse? And she's like doing men. Like, how is?
Yeah.
I don't get why that would be any. I don't know. It's crazy because you're in like a committed relationship that shows your character.
Yeah.
Versus a straight woman who would be in all over town. It's like, what kind of character are you looking for?
Yeah, I don't know.
It's crazy.
It's definitely, it's weird. It sucks, but I don't know. I don't know if it'll ever go away, but it probably won't because I don't know if
our lifetime, probably not.
Yeah, probably won't. But it's
maybe
okay.
after our like Theo's generation might be.
Yeah,
a little bit more free and.
Who knows?
I mean, honestly, yeah, beliefs are strong all over, so it's hard to tell. Anyways, so I also struggled with that not being good enough, like core belief growing up. Because my older brother was good at everything. He was a straight A student. He was like a star athlete. Like, he's still great at everything. So like trying to like I was 4 years younger, so I was like right behind him. Like everyone's like, "Oh, you're Justin's sister, Davis's sister." That's what they called me forever.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah, and I'm like, man, I'm like, I thought that guy was cute, and he's calling me JD's sister. Dang it, that's not gonna happen.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyways, and then they were all scared to date me too because of that, because he was like this big buff dude. I'm like, thanks, dude, thanks, bro. But that's okay. It probably saved me a lot of heartache. But anyways, like growing up with that, it's like, okay, he's now successful as well, which I finally am too. But for a while I wasn't. I was just trying to figure out where I wanted to go with life and my career and all that. And there's always been that like core, like you got to be as good as your brother. You got to like get straight A's like he does. You got to do this, this, this. And you're not the same person. You're not going to be the same. We're very similar, honestly. I see it now. I never used to. He's also like sales, business, marketing mindset. And he fell into it too. He started in fitness. I mean, it is very relatable, very similar. And it's not obvious though when you meet us, I guess. Our personalities are different, but our interests and stuff and like natural talents are pretty similar, I would say. But he is very successful, and it is like, okay, well, he bought this like really gorgeous home and they're remodeling it and da 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 da. Now they're talking about building, which is exciting. And it's like, okay, I gotta like keep going because I want to do just as good as him still. Like, it's crazy, but it is. I think I look at it in a better way than I did when I was younger. Like, I look at it like, okay, he like motivates me to do good because I know I'm similar to him and I can do that good too. So it's kind of like a good way to twist it if you feel that pressure of like family members or sibling rivalry. Like, if they're doing very well for themselves, first off, I'm very happy for him. He does awesome. He has a beautiful family. But it's like trying to refocus that into, okay, well, he's capable of that. He came from the same setting I came from. He came from like no inheritance, no money, like working hard for every dollar we get. And he did this with it. And it's like, and here I come next in line doing that with it. And my siblings are also starting to do, they're younger, but they're also starting to find that success as they go through life. And it's kind of motivating, but also there is still that like competitive edge in me that's like, man, I want to out income him. I want to like make more money than he does someday. But it's like, it doesn't matter. It's just like something you constantly have deep buried in there, like that like competition in you.
Yeah. Yeah, I can relate, not in the sibling realm, but because like we're all like I'm 5 years apart from my older sister. She's 10 year or then I'm 10 years apart from my brother, and my younger sister is 11 years. So it's like, and yeah, there's nothing really to compete with right there. But
Yeah,
like,
no.
I think for me, like, what also came up, which this is all like in my story because it's like all about that like one belief of I'm not good enough. But like when you're good at something for so long and it's like you're the best at it, and then it gets taken away from you and now you're just nothing. And that was like softball for me. Like I, didn't feel good enough in my friend group. I didn't feel good enough like anywhere else. Like I was good at school and stuff, but I didn't really care. Like that's not, to me, that's not a bragging point. Like whatever, grades don't really matter in my sense. Like I got straight A's, all that stuff, but that's not really a bragging point to me. But being athletic and being able to just walk in a room, be good at sports, be fast, all that stuff, and like being great at softball. And then when I went through the struggles of like sophomore and junior year and like not performing, it was like so hard for me. And then I mentioned in my story, but I literally like felt like that was the last thing I had that nobody else had in my friend group and stuff. And then I wasn't good at that either. And then it was like I was just like, well, then what am I good at? Yeah, which obviously is why I do what I do now. But yeah, I just saw a TikTok about that today too. Like the sadness and the anger and frustration you get when like the one thing you were good at, somebody shows up and they're better at it, and it's just like, now what do I even?
But isn't there always someone that's better?
Yes, absolutely.
And we know that. Like
I know.
That is hard. I feel that too with like changing a career. Like My whole life identity was in like high school was like, I'm going to get out of this town. I'm going to do something big with myself. I'm going to, make it. And then I ended up moving back to that area years later after exploring life. But it almost feels like a defeat when you don't do that original thing you said you wanted to do.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, why?
Yeah.
I changed my mind. Like, things changed. It was cheap to move back home for a little while. It was like practical, and like, I don't know, I saved a lot of money, bought a house, and we ended up selling it for double what we bought it for. So it wasn't a bad move. It was just like not what I planned. So it felt like failure kind of.
And that's why I think it's so important to just stay open-minded rather than like everything needs to be the exact way that I planned out, because God's plan is bigger than ours, and like he'll move in ways that we didn't expect, but we have to be open to it and open to that change. And then also like what I was talking about last episode, like that's your ego, like all day long. And it's like if we could get out of that, because the only reason we're thinking that is because what will other people think of me?
Yep.
Like that I moved back, and it's like this comparison again. It's about status, it's about money, it's about possessions. Like it comes back to the ego again, and it's like, dude, no. Like get out of that, lead with your heart, and understand that you did what was best for you in that moment. And yeah, again, like I said last episode, still 2 weeks later, but I mean, it's probably going to be something that's a constant battle with everybody. I'm just glad I even have the awareness of it, because most people don't. But when you're aware of it, you just realize how much ego drives your life.
Yeah, and it's not a bad thing to move back home. I mean, at first I thought it was. And it's like, oh, I got to see my old friends again, and I made a couple new ones that I didn't know even lived over here and all that. And then I realized that Fort Wayne was booming, and I wanted to be a part of that boom. And it was something where back in the day, I would have not chosen Fort Wayne to live. And I'm glad I left and then came back and rediscovered it as like this up and coming city with fun things to do now. And like all the millennials are making it awesome. So I got to be a part of that in the real estate world now too. So it's like maybe leaving made me appreciate it more when I came back and saw that it was actually like thriving, a town an hour away from Fort Wayne. The town's not thriving. Fort Wayne is. Yeah. So like moving back to this area in the Midwest and like, oh, okay, well here's like something new that I didn't see before, and like reappreciating it for what it is.
Yeah, and sometimes you just have to go like do with what you thought you wanted to realize that that's not actually what you wanted.
Oh yeah, I wanted to live in California.
Like, yeah, and
no way.
To tie it back to like what I'm good at teaching is, obviously with athletes and stuff, so many players are focused on, and coaches too, like focused on winning, which I love winning, don't get me wrong, but it's like what's the motive behind the win? Because what most people do is when they want to win, they want their opponent to lose. I just made a video about this. And it was a long video, so I doubt people watched it, but it was one of my best videos, honestly, with value.
That's so cool.
Because you wouldn't have the game if you didn't have your opponent. That's what makes the game. So it's a dance. And rather than hoping, and I literally remember doing this as an athlete, so I know pretty much all high school athletes do it. You show up to the game and you kind of feel lazy that day, and you're like, I hope the other team just doesn't like show up big. Like, I hope they don't bring their A game. Like, so then you're hoping not to lose rather than win. And true winning and like loving your opponent comes from you showing up to be your best version of yourself and hoping that they do the same. Because when that happens, you both are pushing each other to grow to new heights, and you can respect their game because you're like, they put the same amount of work I did in, and we're both here to be in the moment, because that's what you love about winning. It's not the trophy, it's not whatever, because that's such a short-lived moment. What you love is the feeling of it, which is the feeling of being alive. Like winning a championship, that makes you feel alive and connected to the people around you. It's not the scoreboard. Like, that doesn't even matter. Like, you're not even thinking about that. It's the people, and it's like the moment itself. It's the feeling of being alive. So it's like, how can we get that feeling of being alive in our everyday lives?
And even if you don't win and feeling like fulfilled that you did your best and you played well, you put the practice in and the work into, I think that's important to make sure
Oh, for sure.
you know how to feel that like success even though you didn't win.
And that's why I love coaches that focus on the process and not the outcome. Because just because you may have won according to the scoreboard doesn't necessarily mean you succeeded. Because you could have just gotten lucky to the circumstances, or like the other team had injuries and stuff, and you just purely got lucky with what the circumstances were, and you could have not shown up the best. You could have not put any effort in. That's not a win. Like, don't walk away thinking, oh, I just won. Like, no, dude, that's not a win because you didn't show up the best. But you could lose. Like, your team could technically, to the scoreboard, lose a game, but it still be a win for you guys because you focused on the process and realized that everybody showed up in the best way, put the most effort in, and you guys grew from that moment.
And that goes against everything Ricky Bobby said. If you're not first, you're last.
That's why it's so important to understand why, like, where that comes from. Like, trust me, like, and the thing is that I want to remind people, because they freak out when you're like, no, it's about winning. Yes, like, it is about winning, but what about the winning is what you're actually striving for. Because what was I even gonna say? I don't even remember.
If you're not first, you're last.
Yeah, I don't remember. It's gone, but
oh no, we're at that point of the podcast.
Yeah, I don't even know.
You were doing so good, dude.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, I'll remember it. Yeah, I don't remember.
That's all good stuff, though. I mean, winning in life too can be relatable if you're not an athlete and like transition this or
yeah, it's all the same. I just want to remind you guys when I'm speaking of that, the only reason I speak that way is because that's my target audience, and it's like easier for me to explain it in the terms of like a game that I've played. Whereas like life, I'm only 20, so it's hard to give real life examples with that, but it's all the same. Trust me, like it can be applied to business, your job, like literally anything.
So say you're going for a real estate listing consultation appointment with someone and you're trying to convince this person with $1 million home to let you be the one to sell it.
I remember what I was going to say.
You
Sorry.
want to finish or you want to do it now?
No, you can finish.
Okay.
I'll just keep reminding myself of the word.
So say you're up against like some of the other like best realtors in town and you don't get that listing appointment. What can you can either sit and mope about it, or you can say, okay, well, what did they do differently? How did they present themselves? Like maybe I should meet with them and ask them for advice, or like put the ego aside and what can I do better to win the next one and get the next listing? Maybe it's like, I don't know, it could be a number of things, but not being like, oh man, I didn't get it, darn. But like actually making some action to like improve yourself and like ask that person, hey, how did you win that? That was impressive. I'm like, good for you.
Yeah. So what I was gonna say was that people freak out of like, well, you're telling these kids not to win and like strive for winning. No, like absolutely, like make it your goal to win the game and play to win. That's what you're there for. But in the process of doing that, like be actually in the moment and not thinking about the outcome, because you cannot control the outcome, but you can control the process. But what I'm saying is like, when you focus on the process and not the outcome, and when you love your opponent and embrace the game for what it is, like what you're actually there for, success actually comes as a byproduct of it. Mm-hmm. Like you're gonna win more in like fulfilling ways because you focus on the process. So like that's the reminder. Like I'm not saying don't win, but it's like stop focusing on that and focus on like you in the present moment and like what you can do to be better and how to show up better. And that will be a byproduct of everything you do with that. Yeah, I feel like there's something else I was going to say to your point, but I don't remember. Classic.
So like focusing on improving yourself and being your best self versus getting that big win on the scoreboard. Like in work and life, focusing on being a better person and helping others versus getting all the clients or like fighting for the most sales. It's like, no, you want to make sure you're focusing on the right things. Like you're actually there to help people. You're there with good intentions, and that will help you win over the course of your whole life.
Boom. Yep. And what I was going to say is like Kobe Bryant is like a perfect example of this. Like when he first came into the league, like obviously everybody's like idol at that time was Michael Jordan. He was the best basketball player.
Mm-hmm.
And when he'd play Michael, he was so much smaller than Michael, but instead of like fearing that like everybody else did, because people would on his team would be like, oh man, like scared, like, oh, I don't want to go against him. And he embraced it. He's like, no, I want to. I will guard him. I want to guard the best so that I can be the best. And there's pictures of them like on the court together while they're playing. They're smiling at each other. And Kobe's asking Michael questions while they're playing, and Michael's giving him advice. And it's just like,
Wow.
when you can love your opponent like that because you respect their game so much and you both are showing up, like, because they both were going 100% so that they could push each other to grow. Imagine if you showed up to every single game like that. I mean, it would be like the best outcome. And when you do that, because you both are showing up your best, you're going to get this crazy game that's so exhilarating and thrilling. And it's like, that's how you know it's the feeling of being alive that you really like love about winning. It's not the scoreboard. Like, and that's why when it's a game that you technically win because of the scoreboard, but you don't show up and stuff, and it's just kind of like an easy game, that's why you don't remember it. And that's why it's not meaningful, because it's that feeling didn't happen.
In work, in business, it's like lifting each other up. We can all do better together. And to relate that to the business world, it's like it's not competing for the listings, competing for the clients. It's we're all gonna be in this together. Like, good for you for getting that client. Good for you for getting that. Here's something that'll help you with that. And like building each other up together versus competing. So the people at the top, they collaborate, they don't compete.
Yeah, I can't remember if this was in the book I just got finished reading, which I'm getting all these like thoughts from, or if it was like a video or something. I don't know, but something to that point, something said like so many like business owners worry way too much about their competitors and what they're doing, when it's like, if you just focus on you, what you have to offer, your purpose, and like, because we're all unique, like there's something different, like, and there's enough, there's so much abundance. I promise you there's enough.
Yep.
It's just finding like what you value and what your purpose is and how you're going to show up in your unique and authentic way. And so it was like, yeah, just, and again, that goes with loving your opponents. Like, yeah, man, it's like that, this like competition and this like competitiveness, like really what that feeling again is, just the feeling you want is to be alive. And so it's like loving your opponent is like the best way to do that, because like you're embracing the people that put the work in like you do, sacrifice like you do. And so instead of like hating them or hoping that they mess up or all this stuff, or that they won't show up, like embrace them and like show up your best way, have and hope that they show up in their best way too, so that you guys can push each other to grow.
Even in marketing, like there's so many marketing companies, and some are really good at certain niches. Like this one's better at the real estate, this one's better at like weddings and events, and it's collaboratively lifting each other up and saying, hey, you should hire so and so for this, but we're good at this, and da 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 da, and like throwing those people's names out and like sharing that with other potential clients that you're not necessarily trying to lose for yourself, but you're showing them that, hey, I'm a team player. I'm here to help everyone make money and everyone to be successful and like help all the businesses. I'm not just hungry. I'm not just like cutthroat out here. And they're going to see that and they're going to respect that in any industry.
Yeah, and these ideas are coming from coaches that didn't just win one championship one year and then the next, like, and then didn't win any others. Like, these are from like NBA coaches, a swim coach at a college that has literally won like 49 national championships. It's like at a small college, but like that mindset, or like Phil Jackson, who coached Michael Jordan, like Greg Popovich, I think that's how you say his last name.
I think so.
Yeah, like these ideas are from those coaches, like, and they have a standard of winning championships, but they're not focused on that. Like, they will tell you straight up, like, same with Nick Saban, like, they're so focused on the process and developing their players into like human beings, and because they're focused on that piece, that's why they win so many championships. I don't know why it's like so hard for people to wrap their head around that, but and it's again, like, I'm not saying there's never going to be a time where someone that just is going off natural talent and never puts work in is not going to be an MVP, or like that there's not going to be a team that like does focus on the outcome and they win the championship. There's going to be those, like there have been, but like these are coming from coaches that their standard in legacy is in winning championships. They've won more than 6, 7, 49. Like, these are coaches that have shown up time and time again consistently, and it's not just a one-time thing and then it's done. Like, these are long-term things because they're focused on the process and developing their players as human beings.
That's so impressive. 49.
I know, it's crazy. I forget the name, but it's a swim coach at like some college.
Is he, old?
Yeah.
He's done, enough.
He's probably not coaching anymore. Like, that was in the book I read.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's insane.
That's consistency.
Yeah, and like another coach that was talked about in that book, that wasn't even it was a football coach or something. Literally went to him like one of their swim meets one time to ask him questions, and he learned all this and applied it to his team, and his team was winning as well. So it's like, again, the loving your opponent thing. Like, I know it's not the same sport, but it's like going out of your way to learn like from mentors and people that are already doing it. Yeah,
seriously. And like reaching out to those people and asking for advice and not being scared to ask questions is huge.
Yeah. And I know all the stuff we talked about today is probably stuff you've heard a million times of us talk about. I feel like we talk about it in every episode, but I think like every time we talk about the same principles and ideas, I feel like, but honestly, I feel like the way we explain them might be a little different, so they might resonate with you different. Like different parts of what we're talking about
for sure
resonate with you differently. So I hope that's happening and it's not just repetitive, but they're just important pieces. They're important pieces to life and just performing at your peak.
I hope something in this podcast helps you, like get you like out of your shell, or inspires you to ask a friend or a coworker out for coffee, or helps you with your limiting beliefs. I mean, the whole point is to give what we've learned in our experiences to others, so maybe it helps them.
Yeah.
You want to wrap it?
Yeah. Thank you guys. Again, sorry for another missed week, but you know, we got to attend to our family and personal needs, and I think you guys are okay with that. So thank you guys for supporting us, and as always, stay grounded
and keep growing.